You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV Scandal After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV Scandal After Show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is the AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for ABC Scandal. Today, we're going to be recapping episode 8 of season 3, titled Vermont Is for Lovers 2. I'm Kennelia, taking lead host today, and I'm joined by two fabulous hosts. Guys, introduce yourselves.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sofia Stanley.
And I'm Bamm Ericsen.
E couldn't be with us today. He had a scheduling conflict, and we miss him already. But we're just going to jump right into this week's episode. So, guys, what did you think? What did you think this week?
You know what? I really, really liked the pace. I will be honest with you. I was tweeting a lot of people, and I was a little scared because the beginning of the episode had a viewer discretion for violent content. So I was a little scared when I saw why they had a violent content disclaimer. I was definitely surprised, but something about the pace of this episode I really liked. I feel like everything settled, and maybe I'm a diehard Olitz fan, so maybe that's possibly why I liked the episode. But I will recant that in like 20 minutes.
I also enjoyed the episode, and although I stick with it's very soap opera, very drama, but it was very good. It was a good mix of that whole day, the whole nighttime soap. You had some good sex scenes. You had the drama. You had all these storylines that was all circling around each other. So real good. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
How about you, Kennelia?
I liked it. I liked how it all tied together. It wasn't choppy. There was a lot of stuff going on, but it didn't like march through. It kind of glided through the whole episode, and it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
We'll get into the juicy stuff later, but right now let's talk about the campaign. So as we know, Josie Marcus was running for president. Olivia and the associates were helping her, throughout the campaign to make sure that she gets elected. But today they embarked on a new issue. The campaign laptop that they were using was stolen from their house. So OPA gets a phone call. They come over. Immediately everyone thought that maybe it was Governor Reston and, his group who stole the laptop. But Olivia, OPA, everybody was kind of standoffish. They were saying, let's figure it out. Even if it is him, let's get our footing first before we make a statement. But as we come to see, they waited to make a statement, but Candace jumped the gun and went ahead and made the statement behind everybody's back.
I was waiting. You knew there was something Candace was going to do at some point. I would have liked for it to string out a little bit longer so that maybe we can see her and Harrison's relationship kind of evolve, because I always say he doesn't have much. But I was hoping that it wouldn't have ended so abruptly and that there was more things that Candace would have corrupted before it ended so quick.
I agree with you. However, I really liked his scene. Like, I liked when she basically did the press conference. All Olivia had to do was look at Harrison, and Harrison was like, it's handled. And then the way his interaction with Candace, I'll be honest with you, I did not see the next scene coming. However, the way that he talked her down, and then the way that she basically responded was like, oh, so you're going to babysit me? And he's like, maybe if you're good, I'll let you stay up past your bedtime. I liked that banter because he not only read her, but he basically said, he's like, you did it because we told you not to. Which, if you think about it, from the minute that they were hired, she's never been a fan. In her mind, she really thought that she could do it, right? Because she wanted to be the shining star. And so there is that kind of childlike rebellion because, again, and I'm going there, she technically didn't have a mother. She had a mother, but she didn't. So now that she knows who her mother is, she's acting out, right? She's acting out for attention, and arguably she's acting out to see how important she really is. And in a weird, twisted way, she got the answer. Because her mom wasn't willing to throw her underneath the bus. And her mom, like I've been saying, I've been waiting for someone to put family first and to really speak through their character. And I think that's what Josie did. And if Candace hadn't done what she had done, Josie would have never been able to show herself as an honorable individual, which is somewhat sad because arguably that's what politics within the construct of this show needs, is someone who has that level of morality, who isn't willing to play the game and sell out their child, who did something that wasn't with malice. She really actually thought that's how the game was played.
Were you surprised, though, when Josie removed herself from the campaign? Because honestly, when she did that, I was hoping that she stayed in it. I felt like it was going to be just a casualty, a bad casualty. If she had to throw Candace under the bus, that was just bad. But I was really surprised when she removed herself from the campaign. I just really wasn't expecting it so soon.
I was a little surprised, but I was also happy because I don't like the storyline with I just don't like it. I was hoping there would have been maybe some conversation between Josie and Candace because the issue they haven't spoke about this issue.
Do you guys think they're going to be around still?
No.
That's it.
Yeah.
One and done. Well, you're right. It does seem like there should have been some type of dialogue because we haven't seen them really talk about being mother and daughter. We just kind of see Candace acting out, Josie sticking up for her, but never really saying, I'm sorry, or this is why I'm doing this.
And most weekly scandals, who did the scandals, you don't normally see that, but because Lisa's character has been a reoccurring guest star for so many episodes, I was expecting more. But at least I'm glad it's over. But with all of that in the mix, I was glad that Harrison was able to get him some. And then I also like the fact that David and Abby were. It was revealed more that
they were really in a real relationship.
Yeah,
they have a regular relationship. We saw, Abby went to his office, was trying to get David to pull some strings and jump the gun as well, to put the pressure on the situation with the laptop. But then after the fact, she threw in the fact that you snore and the hypnosis isn't working.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to start sleeping with the plugs again.
Yeah.
So and then jump to when they were in the bed when who got the phone call?
Yeah. No. What happened was
he got a phone call.
David got
the phone call and indirectly kind of accused.
But I actually, sorry, I'm going to cut you off on purpose, Bamm. I actually like that because it shows that they have a real relationship with one another. They're not putting up a facade. He knows who she is, and she knows who he is. So he's like, I'm not insulting you. I'm actually just saying, I know you're capable of this. So kind of, I'm going to be unprofessional for a standpoint and have a conversation like we're actually just boyfriend and girlfriend. And I'm going to tell you the scenario and lead you to where I think I'm going to go. So basically meaning these people called the Pope heads possibly have done X, Y, and Z, kind of talking to her as if she's not a member of the Pope heads.
Yeah.
I thought it was cute.
I love it.
And I think that her response, like the quickness with which she called Harrison, shows something too. Because, go ahead.
I also liked how she said it was not me and it was not Olive. And then I like the back and forth, how they can be professional and then they can be personal and they know how to go back and forth and they understand the dynamics of their relationship, unlike some other people
Yeah, we'll get
on the show.
But the last comment that I want to make before we move on is that it's kind of how you were saying that you're happy that the storyline is over. I actually had a feeling, and I love wordplay, that with the title of the episode, at first I was like, okay, Vermont is for lovers too, i.e. meaning also. So obviously Vermont normally has to do with politics, but it's saying it's for lovers as well. And so I think that a lot of people were hoping that there would be an Olitz moment, right? But then I also was like, it's also Vermont is for lovers too, like a second time around, right? So meaning the first time we really kind of had any impression that there was an Olitz was obviously regarding the campaign, and that a lot of things were revealed the last time we were in this scenario in Vermont, that it almost gives people an opportunity to right wrongs, right? Which we'll talk about a little bit later. So I had a feeling that her story was done because to me, they're going to have another rest in Fitz. That's the only way it can go. Like, there's a cyclical nature to this show, which is almost like the cyclical nature of life. Like, whatever you want not to happen, or whoever you don't want to see, that's going to come up again, or whoever you long for, hopefully is going to come back around in your life.
Yeah, totally. And I think that they do have to go into some more weekly scandal, whodunit scandals, and they have to get into that because she was in a bind for a second. So their company has to go forward with more clients.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. So while the Josie campaign was going on, the White House, well, not necessarily the White House, Cyrus and Melly concocted a plan to take down Sally Langston by using Sally's husband, Daniel Douglas, as a pawn. So they figured out last episode we saw, they thought that Daniel Douglas was gay. So now Cyrus is planting the seed to use his husband, James, as bait. Throughout the episode, we saw him, trying to get James to do an interview with him. He pitched this idea and said that he gave James's name to the newspaper to do just this small little story. I know it's beneath you, James. I'm sorry. Basically just baiting him completely. Poor James was just like taking it all in.
Cyrus is such an ass.
He is.
And he plays this role so well, but I'm a little... James, you should know your husband. You should know that you're being played. How long have you two been together? You should be able to know when you're being played. Just like when something happens and then the other half sweet talks or rubs like there are signs that you should know when your partner, other half, is trying to sweet talk you or get you to do something, and James should know that by now.
I agree with you, but he did. Remember, as he's coming out of the closet, and Cyrus had just suggested that he wear the purple sweater with the crew neck or the V-neck, right? He goes, "Oh, you feel guilty. I know why you're being really nice to me. I know why you gave the name. It's because you weren't nice to me when I got fired." So he felt like he was being played, but he thought that Cyrus was playing him in the standpoint that he thought that James was still mad at him. He was giving him something to do so that he wouldn't be upset with him. I really... honestly don't think, there's almost no way that James would think that Cyrus would pimp him out.
Yeah,
Primarily because Cyrus is narcissistic. In the same way that when he's talking to Melly even says, are you sure we want to do this? And he's like, oh, what, with a marriage? And do you know what I mean? And Melly was like, yeah, no, with your marriage. And he basically is like, whatever, my husband's not your husband. The minute he said that, that's a lack of accountability for the fact that you are pimping out your husband. So whatever is going to allow you to pimp out your husband, arguably you're not giving your husband something that he needs, right? And you don't value him as a whole human being. You value him solely as an object to be traded simply to win an election.
And that's obviously true because in season 2, Cyrus did refer to James as a young hot slut or something.
Exactly. Oh yes.
He
so again, I feel like James should know who he married.
He should, but think about it. You never would assume that your husband, regardless of how shady he is, you think that he's shady in business and he does things, for the White House for the sake of that. But James doesn't know about the whole Sally thing and her trying to steal the election from Fitz. So James probably would never have thought Cyrus wants Daniel to come on to me for the purpose of saving Fitz. Like, I
don't think in the sense of the pimping, I don't think that maybe James should know that he wanted him to go as far as the whole making out or whatever, but just some of the things that he was saying, you should have.
But again, he was thinking that he wants him to write a fluff piece because at the end of the day, he's thinking he's going to write this amazing piece in the DC Times about Sally Langston's husband, which is going to get, buzz and possibly, you know what I mean? People will be more interested in the husband, more interested in Sally, which will then be of benefit to Fitz because he doesn't know that they're not running on the same ticket. He's thinking that by helping Sally's husband, he's actually helping Fitz, which is actually helping Cyrus. So he knows Cyrus is using him, but he thinks the end goal is to help Fitz in line with just writing a story. Definitely not
The way
the way it is, as well as the fact that nobody knows that Daniel Douglas is gay. It would be different if there would have been rumors or if they kind of knew and they knew. Nobody knows.
And so what about, I was going to say, now what about once it was revealed to James that he got played? Because...
Now imagine how sad that is, though, for some other man to tell you about your life and what's really going down. Poor James. Like, I keep saying poor James, but poor James, he's there really thinking he's there for this job.
Yeah.
James always has his career in mind, and Cyrus always finds his way to come in and shoot his poor little dreams down. So now this piece that he was writing means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
While this was going down, Cyrus was at home pacing back and forth, waiting, watching the clock, figuring out what was going on. Gets text messages after James comes home.
And also the way that James came home. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was so, I don't even know what the word is. It was so, go ahead, Bamm.
I can't figure what movie it is, but if you just give me some time, I'll tweet it tomorrow. But James came in like the woman who had found out something, and it was the perfect payback to your husband for what he did to you. Maybe the best man. I can't remember. I can't think of what it is, but the way James walked in like, okay.
Or maybe it was the first best man when Mia slept with
that's what I'm talking about.
Tay Diggs behind Lance's back.
That's what I was thinking. But what do you think about, do you think James should have did it?
But also,
do we
don't know. We don't know if
James
James did it. Thank you, Kennelia. Thank you.
No. The shirt was off.
But
But
think about this.
Yes, go ahead.
Imagine you finding out from this man that you really thought you were going to interview that your husband and his crew set you up to bait him. At that moment, you're pissed. James was pissed. So what he could have done was tell Daniel Douglas. They could have traded stories and figured out what really happened. And then but they could have posed for the pictures. The only flaw with that, though, is now there's pictures with Daniel Douglas being gay, and he doesn't want anybody to know he's gay.
That's
James
true.
is out, but we don't really know that they did anything.
I don't know if they went all the way. James is so committed to Cyrus that maybe he stopped in the moment once he realized, okay, you know what? No, I can't do this. But there had to have been some kind of little tit-to-tay that went on, because even in their deepest conversation where they figure things out, if he gets outed, then Sally's done, and Sally is gonna kick Daniel's ass, because now he just ruined her chance.
Yeah. We'll see where this goes, though, because it could have been. They could have set that up, and they could have really gotten it on.
Just really quick, finally, when Cyrus was in bed and he was crying, that's what your ass get.
Yeah, it's payback, because remember, Cyrus tried to kill James outside in broad daylight.
Yeah.
Okay, he was gonna murder James. Anyway.
But let us know on Twitter, and let us also know on iTunes what you think. Do you think that James really actually in fact slept with Daniel, or do you think it's all a setup? You can literally leave us comments, you can rate, you can subscribe. So the way that you do that is you go to iTunes.com, and all you have to do is you type in AFTERBUZZ TV Scandal, and all of our podcasts will come up from season 1, season 2, and season 3. And there you can rate, comment, and subscribe, and more importantly, tell a friend. We love your comments. It helps us actually figure out predictions, figure out theories, and actually sometimes figure out topics for the show. So again, just go to iTunes, rate, comment, subscribe, and tell a friend, and make sure that we're 5 stars. It's all because of you. Thank you so much, Gladiators.
So last week, Quinn was initiated unknowingly into B613. Coming straight out of the gate, Charlie drops Quinn off at the office and tells her, just act normal. It's whatever. Quinn walks in with coffee, and when she walks in, they're on the Dresden case, trying to figure out who killed Dresden when the killer is right there standing in the office. So Quinn is completely frazzled, mind you. They have this idea to pull camera footage from all of the other buildings. Quinn takes the initiative to go and do that on her own. Now, what did you guys think when she bumped into Charlie?
No, when she bumped into Jake.
Not Charlie, when she bumped into Jake.
Go home. Shit.
No, see, to me, it's actually different. I actually was curious why she just didn't volunteer for that. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Because it's like you have to move really quick to kind of be ahead of OPA. So why didn't you just say something? But also too, and I need to watch it again, so maybe some of you gladiators on East Coast time have already watched it a couple of times. Didn't she slip something in her pocket? So the drive that she gave to Jake wasn't actually the drive. I think I saw her put something in her back pocket. So when she took it, right? When she took it, she put one in her pocket and had another one. So on some levels, it's like, okay, cool, it worked. Like, she was like, oh, I was just, basically taking initiative. They think that's who she is. Do you know what I mean? And he's like, oh, well, yeah,
But this is my thing. Jake, you're not employed with OPA. You do not get a check. There is no way that I'm going to hand you over some damn disc because you're freaking Jake. Take your ass and go somewhere and get a job or be an intern, because why you... Why is she giving him? Who are you?
But Olivia invited him in. Obviously, Olivia invited him in.
I get that, but brother, you're the new Quinn, brother. You're new. There's no way that I'm just gonna give you the
But
disc.
again, it's nervousness. Again, it's the funny thing is, Bamm, I actually agree with you 100%, because at the end of the day, like, if you're taking the initiative to potentially save the day, then the only two people you should give the information to is either Huck or Olivia. But I think that because she's so nervous, she can't really fight at that moment and be like, oh, well, no, I'm going to keep it after I went and I didn't tell anybody where I was going and I took the initiative and what. Yeah, it's not gonna work that way.
And if she would have said, "Oh, I didn't get it. I don't have anything," he would have went to the counter and they would have said, "Oh, some lady came and asked for the same exact thing." She just walked out. He just saw Quinn walking out, so it was kind of, she had to give it up, kind of. But on the other side, Jake is her colleague now, so she better get used to him, because she's working with him as he's the intern at OPA and he's her superior at B613. So this is Quinn's new life. She's working 2 gigs. So they get back to the office. Quinn is trying to work on the software, basically trying to erase her face or to see if she can even find herself. And Huck takes over. Quinn's panicking, whatever.
And that's the key. I don't know, is on her laptop, was it the footage she gave Jake or was it her footage? Right? Because it was her laptop. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And I think that's where she messed up. Because she was literally trying to do it that quick that she couldn't even wait till she went home or so forth and so on. Go ahead.
So we finally get a scene where Huck communicates with Quinn. This whole time, I know personally, I've been bashing Quinn. Quinn works my nerve. But Huck finally said to Quinn, Jake told me that I don't open up to you and I don't talk to you. He said that I don't tell you that you do a good job. I know you do a good job, and I want to, you to know that you do a good job. Quinn kind of took it as, it kind of shook her up a little bit. You could see she was kind of, she was kind of set off a little bit. But the question is, and what do you guys think? Do you think Quinn, is that what she wanted? Was it the fact that she wanted to be acknowledged for her work product? Or was it the fact that she wanted to do the type of work product that Huck does? You know what I mean? Like, does she want the recognition, or does she just want to do what he does?
I think it's all of the above. I think it's the sense of belonging, and I think the first sense of belonging is acknowledgement. So I think that there was a potential that if he had acknowledged her, she wouldn't have had the void, and then the void wouldn't have had to have been filled by something such as killing someone. Like, he could have stopped it. But at the end of the day, that intrigue is for everything.
And he let her torture that guy.
Yeah.
So she kind of got it. Was like double time for her.
I thought that Huck said that it was Charlie who said that, so it was actually Jake.
Wait, Charlie who said?
When Huck says Jake told me that you're not being, I don't show appreciation. I thought it was Charlie. He said that Charlie said that.
No. He doesn't even know that Charlie is around or interacting, because it literally is just obviously Jake came back to OPA and was like, oh, Quinn went and took initiative, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know what I mean? And then he's like, oh, you should tell her she does a good job. Yeah, no, it wouldn't make sense in the story for it to be Charlie. I don't even think he knows. He definitely doesn't know that Charlie and Quinn are interacting at all. He would stop that.
So do you think that Huck said that to set her up in some way? Because
Not at all.
I don't think that. I think Huck heard it from someone else, and he was probably like, "Oh man, you're right. Okay."
Because then when Quinn was trying to get Huck to go home, and she said that she can do the night shift, and he was like, "No," I felt a little something like Huck was about to do something, like he kind of figured something out, which was revealed at the very end of the episode that he figured out what Quinn did. So I felt just a moment between those two, and I believe that moment was the same time when he said, I don't recognize you for your works, and you're doing good. So that was all in the same moment. So that's why I felt a certain way about
You
it.
think he was giving her the opportunity to tell the truth?
Yes.
By saying, you're doing a good job. Because even when we were watching, I said, Quinn, tell him what happened.
Yeah.
Tell him about B613.
Yeah.
So maybe Huck was giving her he was opening up the door.
Yeah.
But where she got me in a negative way was when the way that she says that's okay, you saw a moment of sadness. Like, to me, that's all she had needed, and she felt if she had gotten that before, she possibly wouldn't be in this situation. We fast forward to the garage, she pulls a gun on Charlie, and to me, I was thinking a number of things. First of all, I was like, you're way too close to him, and I know nothing about guns other than what I see on TV. But you're way too close to him. Like that, do you know what I mean? And then he's like, oh, well, you're not going to get another handler like me, and I like you. So, but part of me was like, okay, fair enough. Because to me, the interaction with Rowan, Charlie does have some weird feeling for her. However, if you're going to pull a gun, shoot him.
Better use it. Don't pull your gun out unless you're ready to use it.
Do you know what I mean? I didn't understand the talking. I didn't understand anything. And the minute he even touched her, that should make her even more upset. That he has the audacity to either A, say he likes her and he's either playing her, or actually, in fact, to like her. But to be ruining her life?
Yeah. She's like,
What I didn't understand about their relationship last week, they're kissing and all that, swapping spit and like, whatever. And then this week, Quinn acted as if she had no feelings, or if that kiss or anything that happened last week existed. Like there was no.
Well, because you can't. Like, she just killed somebody.
Yeah.
And she realized the whole thing was a setup. Wherein she thought he was training her
right.
of her own consent. She realized the entire thing was a setup.
You're right.
Yeah.
So fast forward, end of the episode, we thought that they didn't recognize the face, because that's what they were told. That's what we were told while they were at LPA. Quinn comes into her apartment late at night, steps on something. She's like, oh man, what's this? Picks up the paper, and it's her face. And at that moment, she knew.
And she says it. Turn on the lights. Huck is in there with his whole kit set up.
You know what? When Abby dismissed, good old Abby, when they saw just a small smidge of Abby's body going out, that she was a girl with the little small heels.
Quinn.
Yeah. When Quinn coming out the door with the skirt or something in the heels, Abby dismissed it, and Huck wanted to pursue that.
She said it was a cheap suit and like some cheesy pumps or whatever. Mm-hmm. So next week we'll get to predictions or what we think, but I always say this about Quinn. You want to play with the big boys now? Guess what? Time to play. Huck I don't know what he's going to do, but I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do. He licked her face. That's what we saw in the previews. So
Yeah.
We can talk about this all night. Guys, tweet us, YouTube comments, let us know what you think about this whole Quinn situation. You already know how I feel about Quinn. So now the main part of this episode, we saw Fitz trying to contact Olivia, like he does. She has a breakdown. She's pretty much over in the beginning. She breaks the Fitz phone. Jake comes in and says, if Fitz wants to get in contact with you, he will find a way.
Mind your damn business.
Jake, I mean, he's going to keep doing that as long as Olivia lets him chime in.
But then she wouldn't give Puddin' Pop a chance. I don't.
Well, they got back. She gave him a second chance. Remember, they got back together and they were, that whole living
Also,
together
too,
thing.
Pudding Pop didn't bring nothing to the table. At the end of no, I'm gonna be straight up. Jake basically told her that her mom, like information about her mom.
Mm-hmm.
Did Pudding Pop ever do that? Pudding Pop barely even gave her intel. Remember when they had the chip that could listen in on everyone?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I can't tell you anything. Jake is like, I am willing to go in a hole for you, die for you. I will find any information. I will I will try to kill Command, who happens to be your father. And I'm not a fan of Jake, but I'm saying like he kind of brings a lot to the table. However, he should mind his business and he should pump his brakes, because at the end of the day, it's obviously not just about Olivia. It's obviously about Fitz. Like, there's something about Fitz that he really detests. And he basically is like, I can't believe that Fitz gets everything, including Olivia. So when he makes those comments, he's slightly doing that to both of them.
Oh, he's absolutely throwing rocks and hiding his hand.
Fitz does it too. Fitz always, he kind of takes digs about Jake. And when Jake was around, they had the basketball game. He was being all evil, playing basketball with him. But, we'll talk about that. Mm-hmm. But Fitz gets a hold of Olivia. He sends Tom to her apartment. Olivia's like, you know what? I can't deal with this. I'm not meeting up with him. She opens the envelope and it's a picture of him, her and her father. This whole time she didn't think Fitz knew, but he found out. We saw last week that he found out who her father was. She hops on the president's chopper and goes to Vermont. Now, when you guys saw that she ended up in Vermont at this house and this whole setup, what did you guys think? Because at first I was like, oh, maybe this is one of those like presidential hideaways, like Camp David or something like that.
I thought it was a house that they were in last week when they went back 2 years ago, when Melly and the dad.
It did kind of look like the family home.
It looked like the family home.
I had absolutely no idea. I'll be honest with you. I had absolutely no idea.
But then once the music kicked in, when they were talking about the whole jam thing, that's the same music that they played in season 2 when she talks about, I want to have my own house, I want to make jam. It was the same music.
Ooh. Oh, good. Good, Bam. So Olivia comes and Fitz, I'm glad Fitz finally said, when they were having the heated discussion at first, when he said, you know everything about me, and then she said, no, I don't, and she brought up the whole flight, and he said, you know everything that I was legally allowed to tell you. So I'm happy that he finally said that, because we kept talking about how Olivia has these breakdowns, and she said, I thought I knew who you were. Nobody, when they get orders from someone and then fast forward years later, they meet the love of their life, they're not thinking, you know what, let me tell them about the time that I was ordered to shoot down this plane with all these people on it. Because I think that's good conversation piece. Nobody really does that. So I'm glad he finally pointed it out to Olivia. Look, I told you what I could tell you. She goes into her rant, but then he goes back to talking about the house.
And I think even he mentions the quarry from the marble, or the marble from the quarry twice. It's almost like he was on a loop. Like he was really just trying to be like, I'm just going to try to make this as normal as possible, and potentially she'll come around.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Ben.
I do like the conversation that they had, because Olivia is upset with him, but then he threw right back, well, you fixed the election, and so finally they were able to have an open discussion about their misendeavors from their past.
Yeah.
And they were finally able to get past it. And I'm glad that he kept reinforcing to her, like, look, I can't tell you this legally, but let's remember the election, you did this, you did this, you did this. I'm an open book. And so finally she was able to realize, okay, you know what, I need to fall back a little bit. Plus, then he explains to her, because he kept going back, then he goes into the house to jam, and so he did a great job at explaining why he couldn't do what he did, but also saying, hey, we both had some things in the past, and now this is what our future can be. And I liked it.
Yeah, it was a good moment. Mm-hmm. He called her a bundle of dirty little secrets.
Yeah.
But no, it was good the way he tied it in. He, like you said, Bam. She was like, "Why do you keep talking about this house?" And he said, "This was our house. There's lots of room for kids."
And also, can I back up for a second? He said, "I bought it when there was a moment that I thought we had a chance." So he didn't say, "I knew." All it took was one moment that he potentially thought that they had a chance, and he basically started to build the literal and figurative foundation for a life, right? Now let's think about this. I have to go there. She didn't have a life with her father. So at age 12, her mom dies, her dad sends her off. So she's never had a home, number one. Number two, when he says, you're a bundle of dirty little secrets, she goes, if I had told you, you would have run. And he goes, no, I would have protected you. She goes, I don't need protecting.
Yes.
I'm fine.
Yeah, you do, girl.
Let's go back, and I think it was Bamm who brought it up last week. Your mom died at 12. Your dad sent you away, right? That's a pitiful time. You obviously needed protecting. Fitz is willing to protect you, to be your ally, to be your partner in crime, whatever it is. But basically what he's saying to you is, I have to know the truth in order to assess what you need from me. Number one. Number two, you have to tell me so that I know. But if you don't tell me, then I'm just guessing at stuff. And I think that the way that even in that moment, and you saw, and I can't remember the line, but basically, did you see she stepped back for a second? And then she stepped forward. Like she almost was going to do what she always does, which is pull away when they actually start to get close and honest and real. And then she realized, like, it doesn't matter. Like, if he killed my mom, I know it was simply an order, right? And I didn't think she was going to be able to get over it, but it was simply an order. And at the end of the day, this man really, really loves me. It's not a whim. It's not this. It's not that. He was actually planning a life, and we could have had a life, and it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you get tired of this whole roller coaster.
Yes.
Now, what's your thoughts? Did this annoy you that they are not together but had a moment?
You know what? It did for different reasons. One, okay, the up and down. Most relationships have the up and down. It's more annoying when you're watching it than when you're actually in it. I've been there myself, but not to this extent. But but whenever this happens in their relationship, something happens immediately after to where she runs away again. So for me, the whole time I was watching this, I was saying in my mind, okay, so what's going to happen next to make you run away? Then you have the Melly factor.
But that's actually before we go forward to the Melly factor. This was the first time they were honest with each other, right at the window. And he goes, stay another day. And she's like, oh, I have to go to work. You have to go to work. He basically told her that he shot down the plane. Even though she's been alluding to it, he told her. To me, he told her for one primary reason. Because they're being open and honest, and that's all he wanted. He wanted to know that if he revealed it, she's not going to go anywhere, number one. Number two, he was taking the risk that no matter what, he basically said, I love you. And she basically is like, yeah. No, and he's like, I love you. I need to tell you this because I'm about to go after your father. He needs to be stopped. So I need you to know that whatever happens, whatever chaos, because just like you said, they always have this roller coaster and something happens and they pull apart, that you know at this moment and forever, I love you. And she goes, take him down. This was the first time, instead of having a plan, her on her own, him on his own, they basically talked to one another. They both had consent, and they went their separate ways.
And I know exactly, or I think I know how their relationship is now going to go apart. Now that her mom is back into it, she's going to find out some reason why the dad or something had to take the plane, and is going to probably separate them apart.
Well, I was a little more, and one thing that rubbed me the wrong way real quick, when he said that he was going to try to stop Rowan, and she tells him to go for it, dig as deep as you can for answers. That's the same thing Olivia did when she presented the case to OPA, when she said, this is very dangerous, your life could be on the line, but can you help me with this? Olivia is putting everybody of course Fitz wants to do it, for himself because he wants to know why he was ordered to shoot the plane down. But a part of me, I have a problem with Olivia wanting everybody to dig deep in this situation that could put their lives in jeopardy for the sake of her finding out about her past. That's one of my issues. I get that you want to find out, and I get everybody loves you and they want to help, but at what point are you going to stop and say, I really want to know this information, but somebody's going to die finding out about it, and they're my friends, and I asked them to do this.
But I agree with you, but I'm going to just jump on the other side. But wouldn't she think that the president of the United States would know that about how this could kill him? of all people.
So do her friends.
OPA no, but the president of the United States has a little more insight to what this man can do. So I'm going to disagree with you just for the sake of...
And I agree with Bamm because I think the difference is the president actually knows what command is. Mm-hmm. The associates only know through Huck, and they know Huck can kill people, but I don't think that they know, first of all, that there's anyone higher than Huck, and I can't recall, like, I don't think they know the full aspect of who command is. Mm-hmm. And this is going to sound silly, it mitigates it that it's her father. It makes it tangible. Does that make sense? It makes it less scary. I really don't think they know what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
The president is different. And I really don't think she asked the president. To me, the president was really saying, I need answers. And in the way he said it, it was like, I need answers for me. And she basically said, so do I.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? So meaning, no matter where we meet, if we don't happen to meet in the middle in our answers, you go with God and I'm going to go with God because I need to find my answers and you do the same. And I think she was saying it because she understands how fiery, like it's consuming all of who she is. So she's kind of assuming it must be consuming
him.
Fitz like that because it's actually a dirtier secret than defiance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. But as far as the aspect of Fitz knowing what he's getting himself into, Fitz just found out about B613 a couple months ago.
Oh, good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fitz still kind of has this fairy tale idea that they're this secret spy organization. He knows they're bad and he knows what they're capable of, but has Fitz really seen B613 at work?
But see, I think with Fitz, there's this whole issue because there's his dad that's involved. His dad saved him. You have Rowan. There's so much backstory to why the president had to follow this order, which he just revealed that. He revealed something in that conversation. I can't remember. I wrote it down somewhere. But he revealed something like he didn't know why he had to. He's completely oblivious about this whole situation.
He said, I need answers. I need to know why I was given an order to shoot down a plane that killed 329 people. I could be getting that wrong, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I can go on and on about it, but Olivia has seen firsthand what that organization can do because one of her closest friends was in the office rocking back and forth all day because of it. So to me,
But I think maybe that's where it is. I think she knows it needs to stop. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And if anything, I think, and it's weird, I think that what's happening, and I think this is why they had to bring up, again, Dirty Little Secrets, and that's the underpinning of this entire show. To a certain extent, they've halfway gotten out their affair, right? Because it was out there for 2 seconds, and then it got pulled back, but it was out there, right? And it kind of gave them a little bit of freedom. The only other, quote-unquote, secret Olivia has is that her father is the head of command. If she can take down the head of command, that's another secret out of the way that allows her to kind of live her life as she should be living it without any restrictions. Because now we come to find out that a certain aspect of her inability to make decisions and kind of questioning things comes down to the fact that not only does she have a father that sent her away when she was 12 and a mother who died violently, but she has a father who's the head of command. Mm-hmm. So secrets are obvious, and we're going to talk about it obviously in the next topic. But presumably also she has a mother who keeps secrets. So without consciously knowing it, she has been raised with secrets, and I think she's finally actually taking accountability for her life and standing up and saying, no matter what the consequences, I have to find out what the truth is.
So
speaking of secrets, Melly. She's slipping because she revealed to the president's secretary when she said call Olivia. The expression on her face gave all the details that a secretary, if she didn't know, the secretary knows. And I think Melly, her emotions are driving her insane, and I think it's gonna bite her in the butt for how she's not being able to conduct and hide what's going on in her marriage and what's going on with Fitz and Olivia.
Yeah.
What were you about to say, Kennelia?
So I was going to keep going
just
over
real
to
quick, is that I think, and it's very similar to, and I can't remember the episode, but the episode, remember when they were having the christening and Melly was folding the clothes? It always happens with Fitz and Melly. Fitz is very endearing and sweet to Melly. Melly connects to Fitz, which is what happened. They had the interview. Fitz saved her in the interview. They're watching the interview, and she's like, "Oh, that's my favorite part," right? And that's basically when he's like, "I'm over this," right? Because he basically feels disgusted with himself, right? He knows that he had to play that role to support her because she's always supported him, but now he can feel it. He can feel that basically she's connected to him, and then what does he do? Because he doesn't want to actually connect and love her because he loves someone else. He's like, "Don't wait up."
He bounced.
So again, Melly knows where he is. Melly may not actually know where he is. You don't need to go through that. I completely agree. Her emotions are getting the best of her, and I think that's why in the sequence of episodes that we had, the flashback episode that we had, because again, and I've always said that, Melly loves Fitz. I'm not going to say that she's not evil or maniacal or strategic or all those other things, but Melly loves Fitz, and it hurts her.
And she looks good in her little outfits this season, don't she?
She does look good. So Mama Pope, we see at the beginning, Rowan comes to visit her. She asks him, demands, "I want to see my daughter," because we find out she hasn't seen her picture, anything, for 20 years. Totally, oblivious to what's going on in her daughter's life. She starts to gnaw at her own body, which was the most, I couldn't take it. She ripped the veins and the artery. Like, she ripped the doctor said she ate her own arm.
Yeah.
To get out of the prison, to be put into the hospital portion of wherever she was. That Rowan finally, does what she asked, shows her some pictures. And I like the fact that Mama Pope said to Rowan, "Where are the other pictures?" Because he showed her old clippings, stuff from like newspapers. And he was like, that's it. And she was like, "No, I know you. And I know you, and basically I know you watch her. Where are the pictures of you guys eating Thanksgiving dinner, having turkey and laughing?" Yeah. He was like, "Oh, no, I don't have anything, no. And she's like, "What did you do to her?" When Olivia's sad, we found out about the popcorn. When Olivia's sad or not, not happy, she doesn't like sweets. I gave her popcorn. I sung this lullaby to her. Then Rowan gets upset, orders.
Right. But also, too, he also makes, and I don't know the exact comment, but he basically makes a comment like, "How dare you?" Because obviously, to me, he's saying, you left either by choice or your actions led you to this situation.
I disagree. I believe that he said, "How dare you be." It's one of those things like they may have been, their relationship, they may be separated or whatever the situation is with them, but husband and wife know each other. And she knew exactly what he did, and his way to try to avoid him answering the question, he had to say something like, "How dare you?" because he had to avoid trying to answer the question. He knew exactly what he was doing.
But he said, so she goes, "What did you do to her?" And she goes, "I told you to take care of her." And then he goes, "You're one to talk." I see what you're saying, but I still say that, and Kennelia has been alluding to this from episode 1 of this season. There is no way someone is capable, just like the doctor said, not just to make a bite mark. She gnawed. It's not like her arm was like under a rock and she was gonna die. Like, to pull out her artery, like, that is a different level of training. Like, part of me is like, yo, she is a cold piece, and maybe better than Huck, Jake, Rowan, all of them. Do you know what I'm saying? No, seriously. Like,
I'm just disgusted. I couldn't even look at it.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
So I think that really what he's saying, because to me, the fact that she's still alive, you don't keep people alive unless somehow they're so important that you think that sometime in the future you may need to use them again, right? Or you just kill them, right? That means she has some value, right? So it's just same thing. The fact that she gnawed through her arm and he gave her what she wanted, she basically is like, "Oh, I win." Right? And the way that he would, no, I still contend. Of the two of them, even though it seems like he's the badder one.
I think she is.
She's the badder one.
I think she's the badder,
because she's playing him.
I totally
And you can
agree.
tell he gets flustered. That's why he's looking in the corner when she goes, "Where are the real pictures?" Like, and just like you said, when he goes, "You're one to talk," I think there's something there. However, it still was that he got flustered.
And
you got Rowan flustered?
And also notice how he wasn't shocked once he saw that doctor dead with the needle in his neck. He didn't look surprised.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder, how come Roman didn't have more security or something around knowing the capabilities of what his wife can do?
I think, go ahead,
And it ties right back to, again, Mama Pope she might be the cold piece of the season. What if I were in the hospital and I just chewed my wrist to smithereens, I wouldn't be able to take down a doctor, stab him in the neck with the medicine he's gonna give me, and then take his clothes. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that.
And then in 2 weeks, stand outside on the street like you are fine, and your blood and everything is all great.
Right. Like, no normal person would be able to do something like that. So that shows her level of skill, and that shows kind of who she is. She knows how to navigate her way out of there. Because you're trying to tell me she's just in a regular hospital? No. If you got out of the medical room, she got out the whole facility.
Yeah.
Who are you, lady? Like, that's what I want to know. Who is Mama Pope? So, after the fallout, end of the episode, Olivia's walking home. She hears, what did she hear? Did she say, "Hi, Olivia"?
No, she said, "Hi, Liv."
"Hi, Liv." Olivia turns around, and it's her mom standing on the bus stop, sucking on a lollipop. She wasn't sucking on a lollipop, but
Okay, LL Cool J round the way, girl.
But she's just there.
Yeah.
After 20 years, you know how many, like, when that scene happened, the first thing in my mind was, you know how many nights Olivia probably cried when her mom died? Like, she probably cried every single night. She's still going through it. She doesn't have connections with people.
Yeah.
She can't be affectionate. She runs. Like, her whole world was turned upside down. And now she's here.
And then it's like she's alive.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I personally would have thought that I had like lost it.
I would have passed out. I was like, I'm surprised she didn't faint.
Or maybe it's just one of those, like, she was probably so flabbergasted she didn't know what to do. But what's interesting to me is, again, the dynamics of Mama and Pop Pope, because obviously he visits her often or daily. And for her to finally, after 20 years, say, "I want to see my daughter," and hasn't seen a picture.
I don't think they see each other that often.
Well, because you remember he said he was coming back tomorrow.
No, but I think that's because now, like, there's stuff going on. I don't think, like, no, you know what? Actually, I take it back. Keep going, Bamm. Come on.
It's just odd. Like, they have some weird relationship. I don't know.
I kind of see where you're going with this, because even when they were in the hospital and he was showing her the picture, he had his hand on her shoulder. If that's somebody you hate, you haven't seen, that you don't kick it with, she's just this evil person, you're not going to have your hand on her shoulder. You're going to show her the pictures. You're going to be like, "Look at the little pictures. Okay, give me the pictures back, send her away."
And I'm telling you, and I actually don't think that they've been visiting each other a lot. I think, I'm telling you, of the two of them, Mama Pope is the bad one.
I
totally agree.
Because even when she said, "I want to see my daughter," did you notice and so this is like the first scene of this storyline, the way that she kind of got up on the bed and leaned forward, and he looked at her for a second like he was attracted to her, and then like left? She's the one playing everything. So I think that it's almost like he forgot. Like, they were having a moment. Like, he was really like kind of like someone normally would, and basically like, "Oh, I'm just showing you pictures, whatever," and forgot himself. And that's why, notice when she made that comment, "Where are the other pictures?" That what did he do? He retreated into the corner. That to me is a passive position. If you're looking at the two of them, she's just sitting there like totally in the hospital. Think about it. Just like you said, totally in the hospital after she gnawed off her wrist, sitting there like, ha ha ha, looking at pictures, and then it's like, "So where are the rest of the pictures?"
Yeah.
Like, she's just having a normal conversation. He's the one who's literally being backed into the corner.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see where this goes with the fallout. Now they know that Mama Pope is on the loose. Everybody's hunting her down, and Olivia is back with her mom again. So, guys, tweet us. Let us know what you guys think. We'll get into some predictions, but bravo, Ava DuVernay on this episode. She was the director of episode 308. Tweet her. Tell her how great she was. She has other projects. You know,
The Door is one of my favorite. Yeah, it made me rethink shorts.
Yeah, so she's amazing. Let's jump into some predictions, guys.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So we see in the previews where this is going. Huck and Quinn definitely have a moment. We saw Huck lick the side of her face. That's just right there. I can't wait. My prediction of next episode is that Kennelia can't wait for Quinn to get a taste of the big boys club, because I get that you might need babysitting and you don't get the affection that you need. Okay, but when you put your big boy pants on, you better know how to wear those bad boys. And Quinn is in for a treat. I don't necessarily want to see her be tortured, but I want Huck to allude to the fact that you're going to be tortured. Because for me, for her to join B613, knowing what happened to him and knowing how he feels about Charlie, Huck, it seems like it's a betrayal thing with her. It's not necessarily about getting information. Huck, it seems I have predict that Huck feels like Quinn turned her back on him and went to the other side, like his arch nemesis or the person who ruined his life. So I can't wait.
I'm going to piggyback on that just a little bit. I think it's really going to go there, but I think that it's going to be 50% he's going there, and as we all know, Huck loves whiskey, but I also think he's going there to teach her a lesson. Like, I think he's trying to snap her out of it. Like, I think he needs her to know, no matter how much you think we're friends, I'm a killer and you're not. Like, I'm gonna show you what this really is. And I think that because he has to break her for two reasons. Either he has to break her so she basically is like, oh my God, I'm never gonna do this again, and he's gonna have to kill Charlie and kill Rowan, or she really is a killer. Mm-hmm. But there's no in between anymore. Do you know what I mean? She's gone there. My other prediction is completely out of nowhere. I don't know why, but someone has to die.
They do. I agree.
And my real prediction is just based on kind of whatever. It has to be Jake. But they actually may go there. Well, I'm just thinking like who's not, needed. But knowing the writers of the show and knowing how they really sometimes, sock it to us, it actually could be someone else. Mm-hmm. But I think someone has to die.
Yeah, because there hasn't been a lot of deaths in season 3, so I was thinking someone totally has to die. I do think that Quinn and Huck, I think that he's just going to teach her a lesson. My big thing is with Mama Pope, now that she's out, will she reveal to Livy why she left or what happened, or will Rowan stop her? And will they come up with a story that they're going to tell Liv? Like, how much information is she going to give? Because Olivia said in the preview, my mom, she's here, or something to the fact that
what should I do?
Yeah, what should I do? Or like, she's here and she's not leaving. So what is she gonna what information is she gonna reveal? And just on a side note, take off some of that makeup on Mama Pope and Harrison. They look casket sharp. Just stop. Take off some of that foundation. I can't. I'm sorry.
Casket is sharp. With that, guys, this has been a great episode. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know your comments. If you have any predictions, theories, let us know. Tweet us. Hit us up on YouTube. Where can they find you guys?
You can find me at big6entertainment.com, or you could. I'm blanking out because I'm still laughing about the casket sharp. big6entertainment.com, or on Twitter, Instagram at Bamm Ericsen.
You can find me on Twitter at Sofia Stanley.
And I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Kennelia. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Once again, we'll see you next week, same time.
2 weeks from now.
We're off next week, Thanksgiving. Have a happy Thanksgiving with your family, friends, or whatever you're doing. And we'll see you 2 weeks from now.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.